Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for February 2025. I hope everyone's doing great. I'm going to start going through your astrological forecast for the month, or the astrological forecast for the month. If you're not interested in this, please have a look in the description box down below to find a timestamp to where the tarot reading will begin. But we're starting with a few conjunctions happening on the same day, actually. The 1st of February, we have a conjunction of the Moon and Saturn. And it might give us a sense of emotional isolations, feelings of loneliness, sadness, a lack of emotional fulfillment. You know, the Moon is the planet of emotions and Saturn is the planet of structure and discipline. It would be a great time to have a look at how your structure is impacting your emotions and vice versa. It's all about emotional challenges and growing from them or growing with them. Make sure that life demands, the life demands that we are in, everyone is in, are not weighing you down too much. But if they are, take a look at what you can do about it to realign yourself. On the same day, we also have a conjunction of the Moon and Venus. This can bring a blend of beauty, emotional depths, financial ease, but also challenges in relationships and emotional stability. We're going to have a look at creativity, security, beauty, and pleasure. Emotion will be coming in touch with pleasure, but we might want to combine this with a little bit of discipline, since Saturn is also dancing with the Moon at the same time. The Moon will also be in the sign of Pisces at this time. It is a highly intuitive sign that is literally represented by duality. So we might actually really benefit from swimming deep within our own waters and our own subconscious. The Moon will be at its closest point to Earth on the 2nd of February, and this will happen in Aries. And this probably will reignite our energies so that we can get started with achieving what we want to achieve, finished, or be able to finish by the full moon. So this is kind of re-sparking that little fire within, the fresh start. Jupiter is coming out of retrograde in Gemini, and when Jupiter is in retrograde, there's a period of introspection, reassessments. We have been reconsidering past decisions and had time to reflect on our spiritual values along with our moral values. Jupiter is the planet of principles, growth, expansion, adventure, healing, good fortune, and miracles. So we can expect to really cash in properly from the introspection we've experienced since Jupiter went into retrograde, since it's going direct. We have a full moon in Leo on the 12th of February, and we want to be seen, we want to celebrate, we want to embrace the unique ways we shine. Get in touch with our inner child, that childlike wonder. Look at the areas in your life where you feel like a natural leader, or feel like where you want to step up. It is not a time for quitting on yourself, and really get going and have that stronghold and really propel yourself up, like know your worth. It's also a good time for a little bit of friendly competition. Competition in itself is not necessarily bad. We don't necessarily want to start comparing ourselves, but competing on a small scale, just pushing ourselves forward out of a comfort zone, that can help us really if we are daring to do that. The Venus energy will be quite prominent in the month of February, and Venus is going to shine its brightest on February 16th. So we're probably going to be able to see it in the sky. Mars retrograde ends in Cancer on the 24th of February, so motivation will return. A period of feeling tired and exhausted will end. Mars is ruling our personal energy, so it will ask us to check our own energy. Make sure that it's not damaging or draining before this new fresh period of action can actually begin. What has been stalled is slowly starting to move again, and with it brings new awareness of our own limitations, priorities, and the ability to nurture our own within. Sun entered Pisces on the 19th of February, and it's a time for healing, engaging in spiritual practices, creative projects, letting go of the past and preparing for a new astrological year, which will begin once the sun moves into Aries by the end of March. On the 28th of February, we also have the new moon in Pisces, so we have the sun and the moon propelling us forward into the month. And it's encouraging us to reflect on the importance of actually surrendering, to going with the flow. It might also encourage us to have a look at where our opposing forces in life can actually be combined, where we can build a bridge between them. It's not a time to check out, rather a time to check in and allow yourself to really feel. All right, Sagittarius. I have cleansed your space, I've meditated on your cards. I will just do a quick cleaning with you, or quick cleansing with you. So you will be hearing 3 loud sounds, and I will begin now. Well, thank you so much and welcome here, Sagittarius. We are going to do a monthly Celtic cross for you for February 2025. We're going to start, we're going to ask Spirit to come in, and we are going to start having a look at the past energy that you bring into February of 2025. What is the energy Sagittarius is bringing in? The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, you've been having a good time. You've been, really feeling the flow here. So it's the Wheel of Fortune is the number 10, the 1 and 0 together, the Fool and the Magician, the beginning and the end, really, and it's in your favor. So, it's a card of really change, of cycles, an inevitable fate, but in a good way. If it would have been upside down, I would probably say it's going to turn back into your favor throughout the month. But since it's in the upright, you're coming from a tide of, a tide. I was thinking about tides and cycles, and that's where I got stuck. Very sorry about that. But you are coming from a good period of actually having things working your way, Sagittarius. So that's absolutely wonderful. Can I have any cards clarifying the Wheel of Fortune for Sagittarius? It's like I just want to say, yeah, but you've been feeling a flow. You've been having a little bit of a flow. Oops, thank you so much. 2 cards. And they're all talking about, I'm just going to read the words on the top here as they popped out. We have, we're going to start with the positive one, and then maybe a few words that you might need to think about as we're going through the month. So what you're bringing in is the Lovers, and it's the duality. You are actually bringing the balance between the duality. There's divine love, deep soul connection, choice, harmony, relationships, value alignment, unions, balance, unity, and romance. So there might be some business unions that you might be going into in February, or really like anchoring them down. You might be really finding a soul connection here, a deeper love. But I feel also that these words, they're not necessarily negative, but I feel like I need to read them just so that you can hear them, kind of. I don't know what this is about, but I'm going to read them. It says independence, third-party situations, scandal, gossip, over-partying, no support, solitude, being forced to conform, lack of time for others. All right? So I really feel like with this, it's basically saying to me that you just need to, we know that you're independent, Sagittarius, and I really feel like there's no necessarily any third-party situations. No scandals, no gossip. It's not what I'm feeling. But maybe should be some time for solitude, or making sure that you're not being forced to conform. Like if you're signing any deals or anything with anyone, just make sure that you both are getting what you want out of it. And maybe make some time for others. family members, maybe for friends, maybe feeling like you need to put that phone down or be a little bit more connected for your own sake. But it's a really good energy that you've been coming from here. So that's just a little like, just be aware of it, kind of. You don't need to stress too much about it. It's just a little ringing in my ear, really, that says it. We want to see about your hopes or fears coming into February, or what are your hopes and fears about February? What are your hopes and fears? Thank you so much, Spirit. The Star. So the Star, really, in the tarot, you have the number, let's see, 17. So 1 plus 7 is 8. So that is the number for money or for karma, for things working out your way. So yeah, I get the number 8. And it's a card about hope, faith, rejuvenation. You know, the hope shines with its guiding star when all feels lost, or like when you need guidance, not necessarily when it's lost, but when you need guidance. You have a possibility of a rebirth here. Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? And that is exactly the hope maybe that you're feeling, or a possibility of a rebirth in a business, like this is a new start. You need to have trust and faith in yourself and the universe, and trust that your inner light is actually guiding you, and try and have a positive perception here. So these two chalices, or not chalices, but these jugs here are just endlessly filling out with waters, creating oceans and rivers and lakes, and it's a card of like creation, really. You're creating something big here. You might have a little mountain further in the background that might be a challenge or an achievement, depending on how you see it in the future. But you are willing to climb that. But you really getting down into the, the rejuvenation here. So you're really hoping that maybe the month of February will be a fresh new start for you. Fresh new start, and you have trust in yourself and your universe, and maybe it even feels like things are aligning a little bit for you right now. Wonderful, Sagittarius. We want to have a look at Sagittarius' present moment in February. Coming into February, the present for Sagittarius in February. Could you please guide them for their highest good? Thank you so much. You got the Knight of Swords. You're really onto something new here, aren't you? The Knights are, they have a conviction like a rebellious youth. They are going fast. They have an attitude of masking and a tenderness, like you are not necessarily feeling like you want to show that you have too much feelings, but you know that you're very well connected to them. And they're not fully formed into a king yet, and still has a lot to figure out, but they're about risk taking. They can be a bit about foolishness or irrational decisions, but in this instance, I feel like it's a risk taken, and it's a calculated risk. It's a card that is about being in your prime and having the courage and mercy and the humility and doing a sacrifice. And I get a lot of speed with this card, like it's going fast. Something's happening really fast for you here, Sagittarius. And the Knight of Swords, there's a lot of drive, speed, ambition. The swords are about thinking and about mental, intellect and thoughts. It's like you are filled with a vision, an idea, and you really want to propel forward with a lot of ambition. You want it to go fast. You want this to work, but just a little bit of a wayman. Like, I don't want to rain on your parade, but beware that there might be consequences or obstacles on the way. If you're really going fast on a horse, maybe you don't see the stone in the middle of the way that really brings the horse to a complete halt. because that's also going to mess with your momentum. Kind of be aware and be open to your surroundings. Kind of not necessarily close you down for just, you know, wilter in the negativeness, but just be, you know, opening your mind up even a little bit further to make sure that you are not finding yourself in a bad contract or whatsoever, because maybe that's why you needed to hear this, these words I read out first, and why I felt like I needed to read it. Make sure that you are on the same path here as the one you're dealing with or the people around you. You know, it's also a card about confrontation versus thoughtfulness and patience. You know, it's a bit of a balance. You know, you need to balance if you're going fast on a horse. Otherwise, you're going to fly off. So gathered focus is going to give you direction. And just be open to rolling with the punches, or in maybe this case, going with the flow a little bit. But make sure that your boundaries are not crossed, okay? What is the crossing energy here for Sagittarius? For the Knight of Swords. Can you please guide them for the highest good? What is the crossing energy for Sagittarius? Oops. Okay, so maybe you are aware of consequences. The twos are about patience and balance, and maybe that's, maybe it's just a confirmation here that there is balance needed here. You know, the swords are double-sided. They can be used for wisdom or for good, and they can be used to hurt, right? Those are the swords, inevitably. And the number two is always talking about balance. Maybe there's some sort of indecision or different choices, a bit of a stalemate, that why you wanted to go a little bit faster, or maybe it's just been put on pause just for now. While you're making out a deal or something like that. You know, there's pros and cons with every decision that you are making in your life. So they're both weighing quite heavily, and you are just deciding which one to go with. But, you know, you can also put the swords down and wade into the water. You know, there's always not necessarily only two choices, but if you stay open and keeping your mind open, maybe you see an option that you not necessarily thought about before that can come in for you. But it's a card about balance, and, you know, I want to re-mention about the pros and cons. You know, there's always a pro and a con with any decision. You just need to make sure that they, wow, I couldn't find the word. Any implication that you might be getting from a deal or a decision that is not, you know, hurting you. All right, just make sure that you are all right with the terms. Okay, Spirit, could I please know what's going on with Sagittarius' conscious mind? And could you please highlight them for the highest good? What's going on consciously for them? The Page of Wands. You know, this is a great reading, Sagittarius, because the pages are about new opportunities, new beginnings, new experiences, exploration, excitement, freedom, you know, new creative project, a vision, balancing. So this is what you're having in mind. This is what you're expecting. This is what you actually, well, I felt like I picked up on this. This is actually what you're working towards. This is something that you are really wanting to do. Is, once again, balance your thoughts with execution. You know, if you're walking around with a staff, you're balancing yourself, or if you're balancing the staff, right? It's another card about balance. So just make sure that you're getting enough rest to take on this opportunity. Does that make sense? Make sure that this opportunity is not going to tire you out. Could I please have another card to define, to clarify the Page of Wands, please? Could you please guide Sagittarius for the highest good? Thank you. Contemplation, apathy, rejuvenation, feeling unfulfilled, missed opportunity, indifference, discontent, melancholy. This missed opportunity. I'm not really getting anything on this besides what's popping up is contemplation. And that would also mean like, make sure that this is actually what you want, not that someone else's want. Okay. Oh, I feel like I should read the words on the other side as well. Okay. We have a new outlook, a new option, retreat, clarity, awareness, time to snap out of it, choosing happiness and acceptance. So maybe there is a new option for you waiting around. Just be aware that, you know, you are also the one calling the shots here together. Okay, yeah, okay. You are the one working with this go of the flow. This is a wonderful reading. I feel like the negative words, you know, sometimes it's like you need to just hear one word for it to click. And that's what I'm getting with clarifying that one, if that makes sense. What is going on in the Sagittarius subconscious? And it is, maybe it is you coming out of, or you coming out of it being reversed, because it feels like it should be in reverse, but I don't want to put it in reverse. So maybe you coming out of it. So Justice is number 11 in the Major Arcana. And you got a Major Arcana here, you got a Major Arcana here, you got a Major Arcana here. So it's kind of big things in your life that might be going on in the background, but they might have a, you know, a profound impact on your life. So what I see straight away on Justice here is that there is a balance. And it's like you have been, you know, it's a card of cause and effect, clarity, truth. Maybe you have been feeling quite unclear. It's also, oh, excuse me, a card. I feel like I'm getting quite a lot of feelings about this card, so I'm just going to take it one at a time here. Everyone is accountable for their own actions, and embrace fairness and correct past wrongs, karmic retribution. Karma is also the number of 8, so it will also be connected with money. And what you get is a direct result of your actions. It's also about, it has a sword there, it's double-sided once again. See fairness with the moral compass or with your inner eye. So why you're not where you are right now is because, you know, maybe you've been somewhat burnt out and not had so much clarity. You know, and maybe you are actually getting out of this period of not being able to see what your own cause and effects have been, if that makes sense. That is kind of what I'm getting, but since it didn't pop out fully upside down or like that, I want to read that as almost like a crossing energy, or like it's moving into the upright, because in my readings, if they come out in the reverse, they will go into the upright throughout the month, if it's not just clarifying with some words or something like that. Do you understand what I mean? So could we please get some clarification on Justice here? What is it about? What does Sagittarius need to hear about Justice? Could we get some clarifications here, please? Can you please guide them for their highest good? I've got a specific smell there. Oh, I'm just going to brush over these a little bit quickly because 3 cards came out. So maybe there's been a lack of planning, some frustration or unexpected delays. This is what I've said earlier as well. So maybe that is still playing on your mind. You have unfulfilled potential and maybe a bit of scattered energy or wasted your resources, which could be also like you wasted your energy, you wasted your time, you wasted a little bit of money, you know, things like that. But it's also about childhood or the past memories, nostalgia, in a sense, reunion, joy, healing, and pleasure. It's like you're balancing that energy out. So it's great to get that confirmation. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, look at you, Sag. Look at you. And actually, we're getting to your card here because we are going to have a look at your attitude towards February. Oops. The moon. Okay, maybe you think it's like too good to be true if you're having a deal in front of you. You might not know if it's an illusion or if it's actually meant to happen. Maybe you have like conformity, like it shouldn't be happening this way, or it shouldn't be as easy as this, or maybe you feel, you know, because the moon is about the unconscious, illusions, secrecy, or if you don't know if it's intuition or illusion guiding you, and it's supposed to be night here in the picture, but at night you still might need to move, you might need to have a look and still be aware of what's going on around you, even though you can't see that clearly, even though the path is not laid out for you yet. You just need to take small steps, if that makes sense. It's the number 18, so 1 and 8 is a 9, and it's the end of a cycle, so maybe this is what you're coming into, because the moon is just after the star. So you're really hoping that it is an actual dream. Could I please get some Could I please get some clarification on the moon here? The moon energy for Sagittarius in February 2025. Could you please guide them for their highest good? 7 of Wands. Did you not get this in your past reading as well? Did you not get this in your past reading as well? It's a card about waiting and having a higher purpose, but it's a card about deception, trickery, turning a blind eye, tactical. No, it's not. It's about, I mix it up with the 7 of Swords. And I felt like I needed to bring up tactical, being tactical. And I don't know where that went, but maybe you needed to hear that. But it's about standing your ground, maintaining control. It's about not only playing offense, but also defense. Like those is the best ways. Both are the ways to play the game of war or the game of business. Like sometimes you need to wait and have patience, and sometimes you need to defend yourself. Sometimes you need to go after what you want. You know, there's a balance in between all those aspects. But make sure that you are defending your boundaries, because it looks like that is the energy that you're bringing in. So whether or not it's your intuition or illusion, make sure that no one is crossing your boundaries. And it's funny that we're bringing up boundaries once again, because you need to have some boundaries, Sagittarius. And I'm not saying that as shade. I'm just saying that because I care for you, okay? How is the environment around you affecting you? What is the energy of the environment around you, and how is it affecting you? Oops. Chariot. Okay, so you have some opposite forces here, which is quite interesting, because we're having in the astrology intro or forecast that I was going through, we have some dueling forces or duality going on. And the Chariot is harnessing the power of these two opposite forces, light and dark, together. He is in control. It's a card about fast pacement and, you know, taking the reins and being the chariot of your destiny. Let's say it like that. It is a card that You know, it's about direction and determination, willpower and self-control. So as long as you have willpower, that is the energy around you. You know, that is in your environment. That might be things that you're snipping up on that you need to really like embrace. You need to be the driver and you need to be in control here. And I feel like it's a very good, it's another major arcana. You're getting a lot of major arcanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like it's meant to happen, whatever thing that is coming into you for you in February. Okay, this is quite interesting. Could I please have the short-term outcome from the energy of February, 2025? We got this Tower. And, you know, the Tower can be scary, but it's also necessary, okay? No one wants to hear that, but it's about a sudden upheaval, like a sudden event, a disaster almost, but it doesn't necessarily mean a disaster. There's something in your life that might be coming down or coming to a surface if it's not been working. You know, you might be getting some health issues or things like that. I'm not saying that that will actually happen. I'm trying to give examples here. It's something quite big that's happening that is breaking the old structures that you had in your life, and it's forcing the Tower to basically fall down until its foundation so that you can rebuild what you have built on a safe and balanced foundation. Because you can't build a high tower on a bad foundation. So this was bound to come down. Whoever needs to hear that, I'm not sure that's for everyone actually, but it was meant to happen. I know it might be sad or upsetting or heartbreaking at this time, but it's like it's bringing you down to a foundation where you can actually, where you need to start rebuilding it for it to be a safe structure that you can enjoy for years to come. Does that make sense? Could I have please some clarification of the Tower? Thank you. It says, okay. It says, moving on, unfulfilled from current situation, abandonment, walking away into the unknown, letting go, searching for truth, and leaving. It's a card that also is saying about a restart, letting go of the past, basically leaving the current situation for what you need or you know is better. Maybe you're leaving a job, maybe you're leaving a relationship, maybe you're leaving a partnership, maybe you're just restructuring and leaving behind you bad habits. Yeah, take whatever resonates there. Could I please have Sagittarius's long-term outcome from the energy of February? Oops, Knight of Pentacles. So, the Knights once again is about conviction and going fast, and you know they have a lot to learn, but this is about money. So whatever is going on in here is going to be very fruitful for you. It's a card of dedication, hard work, getting into a routine, and you know it's also a card about finding the balance between achievements, ambitions, and soul and well-being. You know, you're diligent, you are relentless in your pursuit of what you know that you want, and you see the bigger picture, and this will bring in fortune for you in the long run. It's an absolute beautiful reading here, Sagittarius. I'm very happy for you. Congratulations. Could I please have another card for Sagittarius' long-term outcome here, connected to the Knight of Pentacles? It is an absolute great reading. You also have a lot of gold backgrounds, and that also means that is also very positive. Like, if you had any questions regarding these before they popped out, then that means yes, basically. It's golden, it's great. You have the Emperor. You got the Emperor, which is another major arcana card. But we're gonna start with these. So this is, the Lovers are another card that's talking about duality, the masculine and the feminine, balancing yourself. Could be about relationships. It is in the reverse, so maybe you are blocking that connection, new love coming in for you. It will go into the upright as we're going throughout the year, because the long-term outcome is about months or year. Okay, it's about duality and balancing that. So your entire reading has been about balancing, and the King of Wands. So, you know, the kings are expressing their power with authority. Like, they know that they want this, or they know that they're deserving it, and they are overcoming challenges. Having great vision and leadership and understanding and drive to like proceed and follow through with the vision. Maybe that is why it's in the blocked right now, because you just need that little bit of balance to bring that one in and keep your goals realistic. Maybe they have not been so realistic in the long term, but we're going to finish with the Emperor, and this is a picture of the divine masculine, really. And it's a number 4, so it's a number of work. It's a card about authority, structure, discipline, protect boundaries once again. So you will, in the long-term future, have very protected boundaries that you will have learned from February. It's connected to another fire sign, Aries, and to the planet of Mars. You know, it's also talking about releasing what you cannot control and go with the flow. So that is also being repeated here. All right. I felt like I've been speaking quite quickly. Maybe you're like in a hurry or something, that you feel like maybe that energy is spilling out here. I feel like all the fire signs, especially Aries, have actually been having quite a lot of energy. I've also been feeling like I needed to speak quite quickly with Aries, because it was a lot of energy, fast energy coming in. But does Spirit have any final messages for Sagittarius? Could you please guide them for their highest good? What does Sagittarius need to hear? Believe in the impossible. All right, Sagittarius, you're not just a dreamer, you're an achiever, okay? Believe in the impossible. Good, yeah. Please have another card, another message for Sagittarius. Okay, can I do this one first then? Yeah. Could I please have another message for Sagittarius for February? What do they need to hear? Okay, thank you. We have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? All right, so maybe that is what you needed to hear in order to get that King of Wands into the upright. How are you being called to step up and lead? And how are you being called to take the reins? All right, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So this is about your creations, your wishes, your dreams. And, you know, you need to believe in the impossible. Even though it might be some dreams, you might need to, you know, aim a little bit higher to get even halfway to where you want, if that makes sense. Because if you aim higher without any what is that word? Without any pressure on yourself. If you're dreaming higher, if you dare to dream higher without that extra pressure on yourself, then, you know, you might actually reach higher than what you would if you wouldn't have dared to dream as high as you actually did. Okay, does that make sense? Because I felt like it did to me, but I have a hard time, you know, naming some words here. It's kind of just feelings adding on here. So yeah, thank you so much, Sagittarius, for being here for your reading for February 2025. Hopefully something resonated with you. If it did, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section down below, and please consider subscribing, and hopefully I see you in the month of March. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.